Particularly, we know what it is. Like we haven't. Every single story isn't beated out, but what we do have is the emotional journey of the whole thing. That we do know, and that allows us to not rush any of the villains and go right back to the very first genesis of these people without any kind of time restraints. So there's a little freedom there, yes.
That's a good question. Is there such a thing as Batman fatigue? How do you avoid it?
Batman fatigue, like too much Batman?
Well, there's so much going back so far. How do you carve out your own interesting part of the slice of the universe without going?
No, I remember I remember somebody talking about vampire fatigue.
Yeah,
and that was the
zombie
year.
Fatigue.
Yeah, right. And that was the year that True Blood and Vampire Diaries came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I can't get enough Batman as far as I'm concerned. No, I think that the way we avoid Batman fatigue is all we're doing is establishing the world that will eventually need him. All we're doing is creating a city that is corrupt and decrepit and spiraling downwards and giving birth to villains that are trying to out-villain each other. And that theatrical hotbed, that's a great place for drama. And we're just going to walk in Gordon's shoes, down the alleyways, up the stairways, into the back rooms, into the darkness of that deliciously decrepit world. And we're going to tell a police drama. So I think we can avoid any fatigue.
Do you already have like a storyline for maybe 5-6 seasons, or the end of the series could be Batman in a suit?
No, we have. Yes, we have. I would say 3 to 4 seasons, and more. But that emotional journey. We have a list of people that we'd like to discover, and we have a list of people that we'll meet along the way. So. Yeah, no, I got to say, it goes pretty far. We just want to make sure that we don't, as I was saying, we don't want to rush it. That we give everybody their dues. That we make sure that everybody gets enough attention, so we can make sure that each villain is given as much time as possible.
What year does the show take place in?
It's nondescript. We're only saying that Gotham's timeless. It didn't get a Mayor Koch or Giuliani or Bloomberg, and it didn't get a bunch of Wall Street money. It didn't get retrofitted. It hasn't been. It's just a city that got left in the past. So we don't want to say what date it is. We're just saying that it's the reason they're going to need Batman is because this city is rotting from the inside. But that's the dreamscape.
Did you get that from '89 Batman? Because that was similar to that, where it could have been present day, but then they had old time cars.
Right. Yeah.
Like Tracy Field.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, and I think Tim Burton touched on all that stuff too. Yeah, it's I'm so lucky in that. The Batman franchise has just been some of the best talents in cinema history have been involved in it before, and so the palette is vast and complex and beautiful. And like I said, I'm just trying to make this song my own. But all of these things are influences. I remember like when this first came up, rereading The Dark Knight, and The Watchmen, which again plays with time in that way. But has its feet on the ground and is very real. That's the genius of the Batman. This is not a supernatural event that creates Batman. This is not lightning or something. Yeah, there's nothing magical or supernatural that happens. This is a kid who loses his parents, and this anger germinates inside of himself, and with all the resources in the world, but nobody to really love. This guy creates and manifests an alter ego, a real human being who bleeds just like us, and that's the beauty. So we want to keep it credible and keep our feet on the ground like those ones did.
I have 2 questions. How how action-packed is going to be the series? Is it going to be so physical scenes, effects?
I wouldn't call it action-packed. I mean, if we're going old school, yeah, I'd say this is more of an old school way of going. In other words, we don't want to go incredible kind of over-the-top action. All of our action is going to be because the characters need it, because it's necessary to the story, it's organic to the story. There is violence, obviously, because the town is a dangerous place to live. But at the same time, hopefully the violence is organic to the story.
And also this year seems like a great year for DC TV series. We have Constantine, The Flash, and the third season of Arrow. Do you think that maybe this could be a reverse of DC from past before?
I don't know. I mean, wouldn't that be great? I mean, I think it's great for DC to have its day. I think it's great. We're having a Jeff Johns and somebody who's opening up that library, that canon of work to everybody, and allowing people to explore that from the inside out. I think it's wonderful, and television's a great place for this kind of drama. It really is, because you can do a slow burn. You don't have to cram it into a movie. You can, we can not revisit things for a while, But if Gotham is consistent, if James Gordon is consistent, and we're following that path with him, and anything's possible. Anything is possible, and that's great. Gotham is a town very unpredictably. Anything can happen.
And also we're gonna see the rivalry of the comics in the TV, because Marvel also have Marvel Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, Daredevil. So how excited are you as a comic fan?
Oh, great! Let's all have a party. Let's all get together and have a drink. Yeah, no, this is the best kind of entertainment. I think this is great. I mean, I just it only means good things will happen to television. And and that's what we're trying to do, entertain people at the end of the day. So, more the merrier.
Could you talk about the production design of Gotham? How you selected the person who's
Doug Craner,
your lead production designer, and sort of what your main goal is with your carving out your little...
I've done a couple of projects with Doug Craner before. He's very, very knowledgeable in the history of things. He's also somebody who's lived in New York for 20 years. And so he was incredibly helpful. The production design came from when I first talked to Bruno for the first time. I was inspired to go back and draw. And drawing, I haven't done that on a TV pilot ever. Something you do on features. But, the idea of drawing these cityscapes, building, cars, guns, I was going back into that old school way of doing it. If you're working on Gotham, like our costume designer Lisa, like our DP, you have to understand the language of that world. You have to share the same taste as us, because you have to live up to this thing that we're attempting to create. So you could do a text now, like Gotham car, not a Gotham car, like yes, that. Gotham going here, this jacket, that jacket, this street, that's, and literally and I got to tell you, it's like the ones we're working with are the ones who get it, and they will correct you. They're like, no, stop because of that. And it's tough being in New York too, and it's so new now and cleaned up that we're still trying to find that old thing, but we're lucky that we got to build quite a bit. But when we built, like I said to him, it should be a Dickensian New York left to die.
Dickensian New York left to die. That is tragic. Where are you from?
London.
The website that I write for is London-based.
Oh, really?
So
cool.
We'll be very excited.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, there's a lot of geeks over there.
I have a question about your decision to choose Fish Mooney as the main villain for the first season. Because I think when people heard about the show, they were thinking all these other names.
Yeah, there's many others, yeah.
So why did you choose to go that route? Because I hadn't heard of her
before. No, this was somebody that was created specifically for the show by Bruno, because it was a way of saying to the audience, when you come to Gotham, you won't just see what the comic books have given you. You won't just see those classic, iconic villains. the place is inhabited with so many different characters, and so we were just saying, along with these other people, here are new ones, and it was another way of us making the show our own, and making it unpredictable.
I like the fact that it's a woman, and I like the fact that there are a lot of strong female characters in the show, because it's her, and then they do have Jim's wife, who when I read the comics when I was there, I thought she died early on. I don't really know much about her. Obviously, Selina. I think the captain is a female, or
Essex.
So like, is this something that you guys actively deciding, like, yes, let's have it would be interesting to have like a female villain and have like these strong women as well as to be counterparts to these men?
Absolutely. It was another take on Gotham too, of saying, like, this city it's very forward thinking too. The great thing about a city that is just like, it's not corporate, it's not it's organic. It came. People like Mooney can happen because she's self-made, and the city's really forward-thinking like that. The city is very modern, even though it's decrepit and corrupt. It's incredibly liberal because we were inspired by New York in 1979 when hip-hop starting, punk rock, new wave, artists, Basquiat, and all those guys. It was a great period of creativity in New York because the gloves were off, anything went, and that's what Gotham should be all the time. Just anything goes, and that includes like brand new villains.